Welcome back to the Geelong Arena, scene of the Seamaster World Tour Platinum Australian Open. The next round of 16 match, Jin UEDA from Japan versus the evergreen XU from China. XU, as we know, 28 years of age, left-hander attacker, pen grip style. Currently world ranked number 5, was the number 1 ranked player in the world for a period of time. List of achievements is too long to read out, needless to say, one of the top players of the modern era. He is playing against Jin UEDA from Japan, 26 years of age, right-hand attacker, currently ranked 26 in the world, has been 3 spots higher at 23 previously earlier this year. An impressive resume, has competed internationally for a number of years, going back to 2008. Should be an interesting game. Joining me is William Hensel. Looking forward to this match, Will.
Oh, absolutely. Should be a great match. XU Xin starts favourite here. He's a multiple-time world champion. Very experienced, very tricky player to play against as well. Lots of different variations coming. He's got a lot of difficulty in his return of serve, in his first attacks, and how he curls the ball. Jin UEDA from Japan, more open knit player, strong attacks from both sides. So it will be interesting to see how much of his attacking game he can actually access today against XU Xin.
This is the round of 16 match. XU Xin, the number 2 seed, after the withdrawal of Ma Long prior to the tournament. And Jin UEDA seeded number 15. Best of 7, UEDA to serve. We saw XU Xin playing earlier today. What were your thoughts on that, Will?
That was a cracking 4-2 victory. Played young Japanese player in his match earlier. Very powerful player. XU Xin just had the variation, the extra degree of difficulty. And look at that, he comes very late to the ball on the flat shot push, but he just gives it a little flick over the top, causes the ball to hop up very uncomfortably for UEDA. I think we might see a high level of intensity from XU Xin. Looked a little flat at times earlier today. Good fortune for Jin UEDA. Dipping the top of the net on the way through. Difficult to readjust to that. I think he'd hit it again there, another time. Cracking placement. Leaning backwards on his back haunches.
Doesn't look like these players have a head-to-head record at the moment. I'm not sure if they've actually played against each other. Records indicating they haven't. So this will be an interesting battle. It's the first time that they've played against each other. 5-all in the opening game, and UEDA catching the top of the net once again.
Extraordinary small margins for error here.
Strong. XU Xin very strong on both the backhand and forehand side. Good quality spin there from XU Xin, generating a lot of top spin, the ball kicking up. UEDA unable to bring the ball down.
Yeah, I don't think that's a position he wants to find himself in often against XU Xin. Back from the table, top spin rallies. Ball stayed low over the net, really slid through. That's better positioning from Jin UEDA. Up at the table, kicking over the ball, giving XU Xin little time to work with. That's quality play. Working him out wide to the forehand, attacking then strongly into the backhand.
Oh, this ridiculous rally. Both players teeing off. Oh, good rallies there from both players. Good angles. UEDA's shots wide onto his backhand side across court with his forehand. Exceptional when he takes the lead at 10-7.
Crowd appreciating the athleticism and quality of the players. 3 set points to UEDA, 10-7, first game. He does it, 11 points to 7. He was the aggressor. He took the ball by the horns, get confirmation of that first set score, 11-7. Have a run of fortunate points there, a few in a row, clipping the top of the net, making it difficult for XU Xin to play his shots.
Japanese coach would be happy with what he saw in that first game. Jin UEDA really playing strong, not giving XU Xin too much time to react, forcing the errors, taking risks as well, which is what you need to be doing against some of these top class players, world class players. XU Xin will open the service in this second game.
Cracking placement, completely wrong footing. XU Xin has watched it go past him. equally as impressive placement. This time XU Xin curling the ball into the pocket. It's the crossover between forehand and backhand.
That was a nice backhand flick there from UEDA. Just went across the ball, down the line flick. Not an easy ball to be doing. This is the round of 16 match. Winner of this will progress through to the quarterfinals. And that will be against the winner of the prior match, which was Patrick Francisca in a classic 4-3 event, where he overcome Chanta from India. A heavy backspin serve there from XU Xin. UEDA not reading the ball and putting it into the bottom of the net. These players generate a load of spin on the ball, just on their services as well, and their ability to disguise it, whether it be no spin, heavy spin, top spin, side spin, variations are huge. That's why sometimes when we're watching on TV, it looks like an easy mistake, but it's a forced error.
Almost got that. Somehow managed to curl that backhand counter topspin in. Missed by centimetres. Been very impressed with UEDA's anticipation. He's reading XU Xin's placements very well. He's almost there ahead of time.
UEDA's on a number of occasions caught XU Xin wide out on his forehand by going down the line on UEDA's forehand, if that makes sense. But yeah, pretty well straight down the line, opening XU Xin up.
Well, had his opportunity there to take a 7-5 lead. Slipping the top of the net, going too long. He's up for the fight here. Young Japanese player. Showing no fear whatsoever. Let serve called. It's a tricky flick from XU Xin, just rolling over the top of the ball, causing it to kick up at UEDA.
Good footwork, wasn't it? XU Xin stretching in for the wide forehand, and then stepping back, playing the forehand from his backhand side. So good example of fast footwork. XU Xin takes a 10-7 lead in this second game, 3 game points.
Good defense, placement up into that XU Xin backhand. Saves the first of 3 set points.
There we are. It's probably the easiest shot out of that whole rally. Pushing it along. Fantastic rally from both players.
XU Xin is astonishingly good back from the table. Doesn't always look it, but he is deadly from back there.
There we have Jin UEDA, 11-7, 8-11. 1 game apiece in this best of 7 singles match. Winner to progress through to the quarterfinals tomorrow. You're the coach from Japan. What are you advising?
So that's an excellent question. I think he's doing a pretty good job out there. I mean, I don't think he wants to be stepping back and voluntarily playing topspin rallies with XU Xin. Sometimes he will get forced back there. But he's actually mixing his placement up incredibly well. Wrong footing XU Xin on many occasions. I think placement is the important one, that he's not becoming too predictable. He's constantly moving around his shots, varying things.
Let's see if he's taken note of your advice. Third game, you added a serve. Strong XU Xin. You don't really want to be hitting the ball into his slots in the backhand or forehand. It's just going to crack them straight past you. So do need to be doing something different. UEDA's got to be a little bit careful as well. He doesn't go out. XU Xin. Cracker of a backhand, that one there.
I do feel he's become a little more one-dimensional in his speed here, UEDA. He is playing at kind of 80% power on everything, and XU Xin's just there expecting it.
Yeah, 100% agree. And variation will be the key for UEDA. XU Xin's running out to an early lead in this third game, 5-2. Just does look like he's settled down a little bit. Starting to pick the range of UEDA. And as you rightly called, Just a little bit too one-dimensional at the moment, the way the UEDA is playing.
XU Xin has stepped it up a couple of levels. He's looking hungrier than we've seen him so far this tournament. Oh, that's a work of art, that return.
XU Xin, 28 years of age, been around for a long time, still ranked number 5 in the world.
XU Xin getting to start too many rallies on his terms this set. UEDA.
Comfortable victory in the end there for XU Xin, taking that third game, 11-3. Now we have XU Xin 7-11, 11-8, 11-3 in this best of 7 match. Confirmation of the scores there, 11-3, with XU Xin taking a 2-1 lead in this game match. UEDA's playing quite well, just probably a little bit too one-dimensional, just trying to hit the ball a little bit too hard. XU Xin's got the range at the moment. He's happy to step back on the table, wait for the right ball and play strong. In that first game, UEDA was really varying it up a lot and not allowing XU Xin to get into a rhythm. Let's see if UEDA can revert back to that tactic, or whether we'll see XU Xin power his way through to the quarterfinals of the Australian Open.
That's a great start by XU Xin. Looking nimble and fast and hungry.
That's a really good forehand, isn't it?
That's the quality of play Jin's having to show just to get on the scoreboard.
Strong stepping around, opening up through his backhand side and straight down the line. And not an easy shot, but executed extremely well.
XU Xin's return of service game is so strong. Just waits to the very last moment. Flick of the wrist. Opening topspin stays so low. Get some side spin on it too, so it really just skids through, stays out of the danger zone of the opponent.
All players can use the towel down every 6 points. UEDA serve Went for it, down the line. Forced their fault.
Well, it just feels like XU Xin is steering the game in the direction that he wants. Yeah, and I think the Japanese bench sensed that as well, calling timeout. Have to break the rhythm of the game, come up with something special. Oh, it's excellent placement. That's what we saw earlier this match from UEDA. Was able to go deep into one corner, deep into the other. XU Xin struggling to make it there. It's a good fight back.
Fourth game, 6-5.
Now hasn't the momentum swung again? Favour of Jin UEDA.
Change of pace there from XU Xin. Didn't try to overhit it, just spun the ball up. Good placement as well. Moved out to an 8-6 lead in this fourth game, just maintaining the 2 points.
Left, 8-7.
Good placement out wide to the XU Xin forehand.
Took a risk, pushed it a little bit wider, catching XU Xin out of position. XU Xin got a right smile on his face after losing that point. UEDA has 3 game points to level the match at 2-all. And he does it on a fault. XU Xin, fault serving on that last point, brings both players now to 2-all. Doesn't look overly happy about it.
I think we saw one of XU Xin's fundamental weaknesses as a player here, that occasionally he just goes to sleep out on court. I mean, sure, UEDA stepped up his quality somewhat, did a couple of good things with his... XU Xin just looks like a different player at times. Very passive and just like he wasn't really in the game there after the timeout.
It's like he's carrying forward that trend from his earlier match today as well. It's a little bit up and down.
He's a relaxed player at the tensest of times, but just not that spring, or there's an inconsistent spring in his step.
And we have it, XU Xin 7-11, 11-8, 11-3. That last game was 11-7. Match back to square 2-all in this best of 7 match.
Not bad directions from Jin, UEDA. He could be happy enough with that point. What do you got to play?
Oh, that's a really nice forehand. That was strong from XU Xin, but UEDA was all over that. Straight down the line. You saw the really good wrist action that he had as well, bringing the ball down. Quality shot from the world number 20-odd.
He's taking the fight to XU Xin here. Always looking to get in, move the ball around. Looking positive. I think that seems to be the tactic, to play mostly down the lines here. Cut off the angles for XU Xin. Incredible get from UEDA there. XU Xin's shot clipping the top of the net. UEDA to completely readjust his shot. XU Xin running away with this 5th set, but I think there are some positives for UEDA to take. Necessarily gotten paid for it in points.
Nice combination there from XU Xin. transition from his forehand to his backhand. Seamless. Strong shots. Taking a lead 8-2 in this 5th game. UEDA just clipping the edge of the table and apologising. XU Xin wasn't too far away from getting the ball back, but nevertheless, players toweling down every 6 points.
Coming back at him here. Back to 5-8.
Left, 5-8.
Clip of the net on the way through from XU Xin stops that good positive run of points. The Japanese player. Well, that's excellent placement. That's the kind of game he needs to be playing, not just falling into the trap of hitting it hard and predictably. Here he really waited to the last moment, saw XU Xin stepping around, went to the forehand. It's impeccable play now, looking so confident. Back to 7-9. Well, 3 set points. XU Xin after that good short push. XU Xin takes the 5th set, 11 points to 8, now leads 3 sets to 2. It's a good fight back by Jin UEDA, just was not enough in the end. There we get confirmation. 7-11, 11-8, 11-3, 7-11, 11-8. XU Xin back in the lead. I think there were some positives for Japanese camp when Jin UEDA was getting to play that game down the lines, waiting for the ball, waiting to play his shot, mixing with a bit of finesse, not just playing power. He was able to trouble XU Xin.
Time.
Strong opening point there from XU Xin. Using his big powerful legs, getting around onto the backhand side.
Good anticipation there, saw it coming, stepped around, was waiting.
Looks like he might have
decided he wants to get home for dinner. Finish this off in 6 sets. Well, he can't afford to make those errors, Jin UEDA.
XU Xin taking an early lead in this 6-3-0. Winner of this match will progress through to the quarterfinals to play against the already waiting Patrick Franziska from Germany. XU Xin just looks like he's lifted his intensity a little bit more. So it is difficult playing against a player of this standard. You need to be taking some risks. And those risks need to be paying off all the time. UEDA's been playing well.
Well, as soon as he's getting pressed back from the table, he's not faring terribly well.
XU Xin's just really controlling the ball at the moment, dictating the play, run away to a 6-0 lead in this 6th game. Good backhand from XU Xin, going across the ball, getting some backspin, side spin on the ball. UEDA was able to read and anticipate the ball well. That's a really nice pivot.
It's class play, isn't it?
You think he's done that a million times?
And the rest.
Just a little bit of practice into that one. Wheels are falling off at the moment for Jin UEDA, trailing at 1-9 in this 6th game.
Well, 9 match points for XU Xin.
Doesn't need them all. Wins that last game 11-1 quite comfortably. Acknowledges the crowd. Progresses through to the quarterfinals. It's Patrick Franziska. And there we see the scores. XU Xin 7-11, 11-8, 11-3, 7-11, 11-8, 11-1 in the 6th. Xinchu, China, the number 1 seed, progresses through to the quarterfinal to play against the waiting German Patrick Franziska, which will be held tomorrow.